Yikes, another red day. Welcome back, everybody. If you're new, my name's Nicholas, and this is Investing Against the Grain. In today's episode, if you have a bad feeling, if you have that gut-wrenching feeling in your stomach, if you're feeling emotional and upset about today's stock price, today's the episode for you. In today's episode, we're going to have a reality check about investing and your emotions. So before we get into this, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, and we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get into it. Today sucks. It does. I get it. It's yet another red day. We have seen nothing but red day after red day in 2022, except for the very first day after Tesla had their blowout deliveries numbers, and we went up about 15%. Ever since then, we have gone down day after day after day. But here's my reality check for you. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you've wanted. This is the moment that you have probably sat there and say, man, I wish I had my opportunity. Oh man, if I only could have gotten in when it was at this price. This is the moment. This is when you need the dollar cost average. I get it. You've probably bought along the way. You probably bought at 1,150. You probably bought at 1,100, at 1,050. You're probably buying now at 1,000. Hopefully you are. And it still goes down as you buy. And this is a crappy feeling. I get it. You get that feeling in your stomach. It's just, it's just not a good feeling. You feel like you're losing your money. But you're not. Okay? You're not losing money. What you are doing is you're investing for the long term. That's why in this channel, we think about big picture, long-term wealth, long-term investing. That's why even if we're doing things such as options, we're looking at leap contracts, all right? Contracts that are over a year out so that these small movements don't affect us. And don't get me wrong, these are big movements at the moment, right? We're essentially about a little more than 20% off from where we were at the end of the first day of 2022. And it sucks. I get it. I 100% get it. But you know what? You know what sucks even worse? Whenever you miss out on opportunities. And this is an opportunity for you. And so in this episode, this is my reality check for you. There are two things you should always know, not just in life, or not just investing, but also in life. And those two things, we'll start off with the first. The first one is that in life, to get anything you really want, or anything worth having, you need to sacrifice in the short term for the long term. Short-term pain for long-term gain. And that's what this is. All right. These short-term pains, right? These short-term market fluctuations, those are our opportunities to get in there to dollar cost average, to get things on the cheap. Why? Because in the long run, it's where we gain. Okay. We sacrifice today for tomorrow. All right. As humans, we have the rare ability to do that. We have the rare ability to understand, I'm going to sacrifice now for later. All right. Other animals don't have that, right? Other animals don't have that notion of let me sacrifice now for later. And frankly, a lot of humans don't have that, especially not in 2022. Everyone wants this instant gratification. Yet when you take your time, you put in the work, you go through this feeling that you're having right now, in the long run, you're going to be happy. You're going to sleep better at night. But guess what? You need to go through that short-term pain, and that's what's happening now. So again, none of this is investment advice, but if I were to talk to a younger version of myself, if for my kids in the future, hopefully this creates a memoir of sorts for them to watch and them to learn from. And my advice to my future kids is to think about the long term. These days where everything is red day after day after day, that's when I want you to be buying, okay? I don't care where you get the money from. I don't, go look under the couch cushions, find something, and this is when you want to be investing. When things are great, that first day of January when things were up about 15%, that's when I don't want you to be buying, all right? That's when I want you just to hold and enjoy it. Enjoy those days, okay? So today, although it seems awful, it seems like another red day, let me ground you a little bit when it comes to Tesla. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed with Tesla. Take a look at this chart. Okay, this chart was made by James Stevenson. This is a premium vehicle sold in the US by brand from 2017 to 2021. What stands out to you here? Look at all these automakers. They are all essentially down from 2017, all right? Even some of them are slowly dipping up or starting to turn up, but they're all not even where they were from 2017. Meanwhile, you look at Tesla, and Tesla looks like nothing other than an exponential curve, straight up. And this is what investing in the long term looks like. This is what we're going for. So today, this last week, when the market was down, why was it down? It was down because of the Fed. Because the Fed is being irrational. They're not being clear for the market to understand what they're going to do. They keep changing their terminology and their phrasing. Are they going to do rate hikes? How many are they going to do? Are they going to taper? Is it transitory inflation? Is it not? I mean, they're just not being clear, and the market doesn't like that. But that doesn't have any impact on Tesla as a company. All right, Tesla still has two factories about to open. Tesla is still leading the way with full self-driving. Tesla still just blew out Q4 earnings or deliveries, and we're about to have Q4 earnings. Tesla will still have record margins compared to any other automotive company in the world and themselves. Tesla as a business is still a juggernaut. Tesla still has essentially no debt. Tesla's still printing money essentially every single quarter. So these are the things you have to focus on. The company hasn't changed. So why freak out? Why feel bad? You shouldn't if you're investing for the long term. If you're looking for short-term gains, if you're just looking to swing trade or day trade, hey, I get it. You probably have a horrible feeling. And that's why we invest for the long term. That's why we think about the bigger picture, right? So that these little movements like this don't affect us. Now, this leads me into my second point. And this is, again, not just investment philosophy, but something you should carry out through your whole life, is the idea of knowing when to let go. I was reading a book recently, and they made an example, an analogy, how if you put a jar out in the open, and say in the jungle, okay, and you put in some berries or some nuts inside that jar, and a monkey goes up to it, and a monkey will go ahead and put its hand inside the jar, grab the nuts, and then try to pull its hand out, and it can't, because it's holding onto those nuts. Well, the monkey doesn't have the notion of, I have to let go of these nuts or these berries in order to get my hand out. Instead, the monkey will sit there as if it's stuck forever. Now, this is a very powerful metaphor for life and for investing, with knowing when to cut your losses, knowing when to understand that I need to take a loss for the bigger picture. Okay, that monkey needs to let go of the berries, of the nuts, so it can take its hand out. Okay, the bigger picture is its hand, right? It's not the nuts, it's not the berries. That's the short-term thinking. And so if you have any kind of investments that, in my opinion, this is, again, what I would say to my kids, if you have investments out there that maybe you're down on, or maybe you don't really believe in, or maybe you got into them because of, fear of missing out, FOMO. Maybe you got into them because somebody told you something. Maybe you got into them because you thought, oh, that'd be a good idea, but then you realize you don't really understand how that business works. And if you think you know how the business works, let me ask you this. Have you made a model for it? Can you model it? Can you tell me how they actually produce revenue? Can you sit there the way I can with Tesla and tell you that their average selling price for a vehicle is about $50,000, that they sold X amount of vehicles, that they get about 30% gross margins on those vehicles? Can you do this? Are these things that you can model? Because if not, what I would say to you is you probably don't really understand the business. And if you don't really understand the business, you probably have no business of being in that investment. Again, not investment advice, just what I would tell my kids in the future. Now, it's fine to be in companies that you don't understand that deeply, but in that case, you should be in an index fund. At least, again, that's what I would advise my kids. So with that said, listen, here's the reality check. These days are going to happen, but these days are opportunities. And I'm not saying that you need to have these days and feel like, oh, this is such a great day and you should feel the same way you do when Tesla goes up 20%. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, even if you have that feeling, because it does suck whenever you have a red day, trust me, I'm not beyond happy. I'm not sitting here jumping up and down the fact that it's down, but I'm taking advantage of it. We bought more Tesla today. I bought a 2024 Leap. Those are things I did today because I'm thinking with this, not with my heart, not with my emotions. So this is my plea to you, okay? Take this reality check and apply it to your own life, not just investing, okay? There's more to life than just investing, but these are things you need to think in the bigger picture, all right? Short-term pain for long-term gain. and knowing when to let go of the berries in the jar so you can think of the bigger picture. I'm going to leave it there for today. I hope you have a great week. Hopefully this served as just a reminder of what's really important and how to think of things in the bigger picture and not get too caught up in the moment, in the day-to-day. All right. Again, thank you for watching to the end. If you stuck around, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell. I love you all. Peace.